Hey guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available Christmas 2022, the album, Dad, Shimmy Shimmy, AF. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave, you know this is going to be good, right? My true love gave to me two Jaclyn Hill cozy wrap me up robes on discount with Jack Attacks code, 25% off, and one ticket to Noodles Comedy Club, even though he doesn't clean his butt. Beast! Did y'all hear this new news? Oh my God. This girl that the Noodle used to date is now come out. This is a video of all of its own that I should make, but apparently she has come out now and said that she couldn't get the Noodle to wash his butt appropriately. And so last night, all these people were talking about it on the Twitter because she was like on the TikTok live talking about the Noodle's butt and apparently how dirty and gross it was. Allegedly, I don't know. Thank God I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to get that close. No, I don't. I just don't need to know, okay, except for, you know, secondhand knowledge from her. But all these people were talking about it. Now, the Noodle, who is a comedian, and you think could probably turn this into a joke of his own, or at least learn to laugh at himself over the fact that one of his exes was saying that he doesn't clean his own butt, was blocking people that were talking about it. He was so bothered that he was blocking people that were talking about it. Which I have questions about that, okay? I have questions. In fact, I have questions about the actions of so many YouTubers, and that, in fact, beast, is my video today. I actually just got home from doing a little Christmas shopping with my cousin Caroline. Today was Cousin Fun Day, and Cousin Fun Day means my cousin Caroline comes and picks me up, and we go to eat brunch, and then we go and run a bunch of errands. Today we went to Costco. I filmed the whole thing. It's going to be over on my Peter Does Stuff channel. It's probably going to be up by the time that this video is up. And then tomorrow, I'm going to put up the other place that we went, which is called Sullivan's Nursery. And it's this really, really cool, like, outdoor, like, nursery, like, you know, but where they have, like, all kinds of Christmas, like, plants and things like that. But they have a Christmas train there and a restaurant. It's just a really, really cool store. So I filmed the whole place, and that video is going to be up tomorrow. And also, Caroline and I did a Starbucks review today. So you can go check out that review on my review channel. All right. So let me tell you about a man named Brady. No, about a man named Peter, please, who had so much drama in his life. Okay. Before I do, though, I need to put on a little bit of lip gloss. When your lips are dry... Did I already put the lip gloss on? No, I don't think so. When your lips are dry as mine, then it's Luna Beauty time. A perfect gift for Christmas. A stocking stuffer, might you? So anyway, go over to Lunar Beauty. Not sponsored, but I wish I was. Go over to Lunar Beauty and purchase some Celine lip gloss or any of their lip glosses over there. And I can tell you, you won't be disappointed, and put it in your stocking or stuff it up your ASS. I don't really care. I'm just going to tell you it's the most fantastic lip gloss in the entire world. Anyway, I have been keeping this list for the last couple weeks of just things that would come up in my mind that I would be thinking about, right? And I would be like, oh, well, this is an interesting thing that something happened with, but then there was kind of like no fruition, like nothing ever was talked about it later, and whatever came of that and whatever. And kind of what I mean is that a lot of these different YouTubers put things out there into the world, and then there's nothing that really comes from it, right? Like there's no discussion of it later down the road. And most of these YouTubers are people that I feel like in 2022, what the majority of these really big YouTubers have turned into, and I think almost all of the YouTubers with the exception of the Noodle that I'll be talking about today, they have all become salesmen is what they are. And that's kind of, it really makes me sad to some degree. And a lot of people are talking about, you know, like why people aren't as invested in YouTube and other places. Well, I think that's a big part of it, right? It is because most of these YouTubers, like Jaclyn Hill, you know, I just got this DM from somebody. Jaclyn Hill's over there talking about something to do with makeup, and I got this DM from somebody, and they're like, when does Jaclyn Hill ever do a makeup tutorial, a get ready with me? She never releases any of those videos on her channel whatsoever, right? And this is how she became who she was. And she even came out like a month ago or 2 months ago and said, or 3 months ago, she still hasn't done the video, and said she wanted to get back to doing some of those videos, but she still hasn't done that, right? And so it's interesting to me that the YouTuber of 2022 has very much just become a salesperson, and what it is, let me push whatever it is I'm selling on you, let me get you to buy whatever it is I am selling at this point, without really any kind of investment in themselves as a content creator, an entertainer, a YouTuber, right? And so my question would be, when you're buying into the lives of these people, because you have to think about it, right? Like, if you've purchased something from, let's just say, Shane Dawson, or James Charles, or Manny MUA, like the lip gloss, or, you know, whatnot. Like now, I mean, I have to tell you, I love this lip gloss so much, if I can find it, that even if, like, I didn't know who Manny was and somebody had bought this for me, I would continue to buy it, okay? But that would only be if somebody had bought this for me and gifted it to me. I would continue to buy it. But like, somebody along the line would have to know who Manny was, or they probably wouldn't invest in Lunar Beauty to begin with, right? Just like people wouldn't invest in the whole Be Cozy Jaclyn Hill line and all of her other 1,500 different sales tactics, her makeup and her jewelry and everything else, if Jaclyn Hill wasn't Jaclyn Hill. Or people wouldn't be buying Shane Dawson's merch, or on and on and on, if people weren't invested in the story of Shane Dawson. Does that make sense? So the story of these people is very important to the sales tactic. So when they put pieces of their story out there and there's no follow through, I have questions, okay? Like for me, I want to know, where is the follow through on this? So I started writing down some questions. Now I will say to you, okay, in further series that this will be over here called I Have Questions, feel free to list in the comment section below any questions that you have about YouTubers that have come up with stories or said things. I say stories. Stories to me, like my friends and I, we use the word stories, especially my friend Valerini and I, we use the word stories for like, do you ever have that person? It's typically not somebody that you know very well, right? Like, you'll just, like, meet them briefly, and they'll be like, well, let me tell you a story. Like, well, back in the day when we used to go to the casino a lot, right? There's people that tell you stories all the time. Like, you'd be sitting at a machine, and somebody'd say, I hit $5,000 with that machine last Tuesday. And then I turned around, and I hit $1,200 on it 2 days later. Stories, right? Okay. Or, you know, people that just want to tell you about, like, they just make up stuff. They make up stuff for no reason whatsoever, and then, like, 2 weeks later, it's like, you see that same person, you're like, oh, you're the person that hit $5,000. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean I hit $5,000? It's like that kind of business, right? Stories, they're lies. Stories is a nice, classy way of saying lies, okay? So maybe what we should start calling these people on the YouTube, because they get so offended when you call them liars, okay? Maybe we should call them storytellers. I don't know, okay? Just like, maybe instead of calling the noodle somebody that don't clean his ass, maybe we ought to call him, I don't know, the king of the dingleberries or something like that. I don't know. I don't even like that word. I think that word's so gross. But anyway, fitting, I heard, fitting. So I had some questions, okay? And some of these questions, well, I have 8 questions so far, okay? So my first question is, are Tana, Mojo, and Jake Paul still married? Now, I'm very confused about this, okay? Because first of all, they never were married, all right? Like, that was all fake. And then they sold online tickets, or you could watch it online, and then apparently they got sued for that or something. I don't even remember the story. It's been so long. Do y'all remember about this? This was a big deal. Jake Paul and Tana Mojo got married. I don't even see them ever talk or interact or anything like that. Why? Because she's too busy selling her Dizzy drinks now, right? Which I actually have to say, I think, like, from a marketing point of view, I think that's smart that Tana Mojo came up with those drinks. I think that's probably one of the smartest things I've seen any. I mean, can you imagine what was she going to do? Put out a makeup palette? The Tana Mojo makeup palette, you just smear some mascara on your eyes after a hard night out. I mean, I don't know, like, what, but, like, this Dizzy drink, I think, is a smart move for her. She promotes the hell out of it on her Instagram. I mean, she's constantly talking about it, right? But are they still married? I'm very confused about this because they really engaged their audiences in this. And I can remember when I did videos about it back in the day, and people would get so mad at me, like the Tana Mojo fans would be like, yes, they're married. What are you talking about? They're true love all the way. They're true love. They're true love. Why would you ever? These 12-year-old girls out there that were invested in the love story of Jake Paul and Tana Mojo. It's true love. Why would you even question it? Because it's not, it never was, it's fakety of the world. I will never forget, like I talked to several YouTubers back in the day, but like Trisha Paytas was one of them I remember, and they would say to me things like, half these relationships that you see on YouTube, like aren't even real relationships. Like they're completely fake just for the channels. Like I don't know that I think that that is so much today in 2022, but I do think like more like 4 or 5 years ago, I think that that's something that, I think there's a lot of relationships out there that I still wonder, like, were they ever even real, you know? There's a few of them out there that, I kind of just wonder, like, were they ever real relationships? Like, I'm confused. Like, it didn't seem to me like they were real relationships. Were they real relationships? Y'all think I'm talking about a beauty guru, but I'm not. I'm talking about somebody that they just, should I say, they're very nice people. They're very nice people. Like, this is where you get yourself into trouble, right? I'll just zip my mouth, okay? I'm not talking about a major beauty guru. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, well, we call him a vlogger. I guess I'd call him a vlogger. But anyway, so I'm confused. Are Tana Mojo and Jake Paul still married? I don't know, okay? And then the next thing I want to know is, did Hari Krishna ever donate any money to the children in India? I cannot believe, okay, when you think about that period of time that Hari Krishna existed, and first it was like, do y'all remember all of this? I mean, like, I got eaten alive, okay, for calling this stuff out by the Trishy's Fishies. And first of all, you know, like, Trisha just went on this whole thing recently, this whole rampage about how she's really upset that, to be considered Jewish, like the mother, well, first of all, the mother has to be Jewish, okay? And that she went this whole thing, and then that Spill Some Tea With Me account on Instagram like showed how she had, like, on the Frenemies podcast, she had come out and said, like, somebody was complaining about it and said, well, she said, you're not a real Jew because your mom's not Jewish, and your mom has to be Jewish. Now she is complaining about it, supposedly. She did in a live stream saying that she doesn't understand why it has to be that your mom has to be. Well, this is Hebrew rule law, okay, of many years ago, okay, like that it goes back. So I don't know why she's questioning it. But I'm confused, okay, because didn't Trisha Paytas do a TikTok where she was dancing, and she also made jokes about how she paid to be converted to being a Jew? So if that were the case, like, I'm very confused about this. And this is where, like, I think the lies are forgotten. And there was the whole thing about, which was, I thought, extremely offensive, okay, about her saying that she paid to be converted to Judaism. And then there was the whole Wiccan thing that she came out with, where she bought the, I found it online, I found it on Amazon, the Wiccan starter kit with, you know, the Ouija board, not the Ouija board, the tarot cards, and, you know, the crystal ball, and all that kind of stuff. And she just set it up, and then, you know, there was all different kinds, it was religion of the week, is what it was, right? And if you remember, at that time, she came out and she changed her channel title, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe she changed it to Hari Krishna. And she said that a certain amount of proceeds from that channel were going to go to the children in India, okay? You know, you really can't come out and make those kind of statements with no follow-through whatsoever. And I'm very confused, like, whatever happened to that. There was no follow-through. She's never addressed it since then, I don't believe. I haven't seen any evidence of that. If there has been, could you please let me know? Is she not Hari Krishna anymore? What's going on with all of that? So that was the other questions that I had. The next question I had were for Jaclyn Hill. I know I've asked this several different times, but I would like to know exactly what were the results from the 6 different labs that she sent the lipsticks that were in air to, because she said in her comeback video that she was spending over like $100,000 to send these lipsticks off to these 6 different scientists or 6 different labs that they were going to do this intensive investigation, right? You can't come out and say something like that in a video and there not be any follow-up whatsoever, and you want people to take you seriously, okay? And then come out 2 to 3 years later and constantly make jokes about how the fuzzies in your lipsticks were from your Chanel purse, or, you know, on and on and on, and how, like, she said only 3% of the lipsticks were infected. I don't know how she knows that. It must be from those special investigations that she had done with that $100,000 that she never reported the findings. The only reason I can think of why you wouldn't report the findings of an investigation of $100,000 if you in fact did do that was because the findings wouldn't show you in good light, right? So I still don't understand that. So here we have yet another person that is continuing to sell and be a salesman, pushing their products, right? When there was no follow through with what they said originally. You buy whatever products you want to buy, okay? Buy whatever products you want to buy. But any other company in the world that wanted to be taken as seriously as Jaclyn Hill wants people to take her seriously, if they came out and said that they were spending $100,000 on scientists to investigate a major error that had happened with their company and their launch, and that never was ever concluded, or there was never any like factual evidence that came out about that, that company would be ridiculed and nobody would ever buy from them again. It is unbelievable to me that people are like, just forget about it. Why do you even care? Blah, 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 whatever. I mean, it is not just bad business. It's unbelievably unprofessional is what it is. And it's baffling to me. And you add up, okay, Jaclyn's many, many failed launches, you know, or not ordering enough of a mystery box, which that's the least of it. Or how about this website that she said 25 million people were on at the same time? Or her going and taking this person's website name, this cozy, and then never addressing that, acting like it never happened, on top of the lipsticks and everything else. The fact that anybody out there, and you know, the comment I always get is that Jaclyn's a really nice person, Jaclyn's a really kind person, Jaclyn's a really compassionate person. She might be, but she's the worst businesswoman in the entire world, hands down. She is nobody's businesswoman, you know? And the fact that she doesn't address any of these issues, it is unbelievable to me. If it wasn't Jaclyn Hill and it wasn't somebody that you loved and were that invested in, you would not continue to stick around. If it was any kind of local or national business, people would be like, they would complain unbelievably about this. As if this was any national chain, it would be gone. It would be obsolete. It'd be all over the news, you know? All right, the next thing that I wanted to talk about is, hold on a second. Is James Charles still desperate? I'm just asking, you know, I'm wondering, because he came out with that video, and all that therapy that he had, all those months and months of therapy that he didn't really have, because he never came out and said that he had any kind of therapy. And if you actually did have therapy, and he's probably somebody that really does need to have therapy, I think, you know, clearly. And if he did have therapy, he would have come out and said, I had a lot of therapy and I learned a lot about myself and this is what I learned. He didn't say that. He said, I thought a lot about things, and what I thought about and what I've learned is that I'm really desperate, okay? And I probably shouldn't be looking at the Instagram and the TikToks as dating sites. Okay, girl, when did you think that they were dating sites to begin with, okay? I did not know, and I might be wrong about this. Now, I know that you can heart pictures, and I know that you can comment on pictures on Instagram. But I didn't know that you could swipe right on a picture on Instagram, okay? Now, on the TikTok, I know you can slide down, and you can slide even back up if you want to see something else, okay? And you can follow somebody, and you can like their video, but I didn't know that you could swipe right or swipe left, okay? I also didn't know, like Grindr, that you could see how many feet away those people are, but apparently, if you DM them, and you send them a plane ticket to fly out to you, they can be as close as you want them to be. But I don't know about all that, okay? All I know is that James Charles said that he was desperate. But then just came out this year and said that he was taking applications in his DMs for a soulmate. I'm very confused with the world today. Can somebody help me, please? I just finished that show last night, Wednesday, you know, about Wednesday Addams with that Jenna Ortega. She's gorgeous, isn't she? I love that show. It's so fantastic. But I thought that School Nevermore was weird. No, the life of James Charles is weird, okay? It's so weird. I don't even understand it. And I'm very confused about it. I'm very confused about it, and I'm very confused as if he's still desperate. He acts desperate. He acts desperate with those YouTube titles and thumbnails, and woo, bought everything on TikTok. Woo, bought everything on the Amazon. It's like, you know, woo! He ought to take a clue from Amber Lynn Reed, and he ought to do a video called Torrid Haul! Bought everything from Torrid and wore it for a week. Anyway, I'm so over the James Charles stuff. When's his makeup line coming out? What's he going to call it? Just James? I hope. Okay, so let's see. Oh, is the Noodle still a comedian? I did that video a couple days ago. Nobody cared about that. Oh, the next one. Is Shane Dawson still in love with makeup? Because we haven't seen any looks from him since the series. Now, this is something I am very interested in, okay? Because Shane Dawson, up to the point of his series coming out and getting everybody really interested in this collaboration that he had done on the heels of the conspiracy palette that he showed or kind of hinted at in part 1, and we got to see kind of woven through the series. I'm confused, okay? So Shane was putting up Snapchats and Instagram stories leading up to the series of him doing makeup. And it got everybody thinking, oh, he's doing makeup again. I said it in videos. He's getting people trying to get interested in makeup because they're going to put out another palette. I honestly was like, no, they really can't be putting out another palette. And in all honesty, in retrospect, I kind of like, y'all want to talk about cash grab, okay? They're in the middle of releasing the first palette, and before the first palette even comes out, and they already know how much money they're going to make off of that. Oh, I mean, minus Shane Dawson's 25% that he had to pay his coworker. He should have paid his coworker 50%, because I can tell you right now, if it hadn't been for Andrew filming that first series that he did, that series wouldn't be anything. Because let me tell you right now, okay, that last series was like Blair Witch Project on speed. It was crazy town, okay? So anyway, and I like that Chris guy. That Chris, the videographer, he's real nice, okay? But I think maybe he makes a better, you know, castmate than he does a videographer. I'm just saying, okay? So anyway, or I don't know, I don't know. I like think he's a nice guy, but Andrew, there's something missing from your videos. I'm just saying, okay? I miss Andrew. I don't miss him doing videos with Shane because I think it's great that Andrew's doing his own thing. But Andrew was key to Shane's videos, okay? I think we all know that now. So anyway, but they're in the middle of filming. Okay, everybody that wants to come out, like at the time that I said it was a cash grab, and like true story, I was one of the only people on YouTube that was calling it a cash grab. I got decimated for it, okay? I mean, I got so many people that unsubscribed to my channel. People came over and they said, how dare you? How dare you say that Shane Dawson's collab is a cash grab, right? All these people said it to me. Now everybody's like, cash grab, cash grab, cash grab, cash grab, okay? So knowing that it's a cash grab, they were making cash grab number 2. Because those greedy SOBs, one wasn't enough for them. They needed to have 2 of them out there. They needed to have 2 cash grabs, okay? Which kills me. And Shane Dawson, you know, he wanted to release it. You could tell he wanted to release this palette so bad in that new series that he released, you know? Jeffree Star was over it. Jeffree Star was like, girl, we've done that. I've released 10 pallets since then. I'm over it. We're not releasing that pallet, okay? I got yak burgers. I'm done with all of that, okay? Let's move on, okay? I'm sorry, Shane. And there's Shane sitting out there in his, Cowboy Bob outfit out in the middle of the yak farm being like, pallet, please? And I'm like, come on now. The only reason he started showing all of these Snapchats of doing makeup and all this kind of stuff was because it was marketing for his series, because he was so worried that he couldn't get people to go and watch his series, that people weren't going to be interested, because he's always so worried that people aren't going to watch his stuff. So he starts doing all this makeup stuff to get people to think that he and Jeffree are releasing a new palette, which they're not, right? Okay. So then they come out with merch. I have to be honest with you. So Shane Dawson, who is somebody that doesn't like to release merch, okay? Don't feel obligated to buy his merch. Don't. Please don't. Please don't. Don't feel obligated to buy his merch. He just put out, you guys, this is unbelievable, okay? He just put out merch from the series, and then 2 weeks later, put out brand new merch, the Grower merch. And I'm like, you literally went boom, boom with merch, but you don't like to put out merch, okay? And he knows, he has to know, weeks to months ahead when this merch is coming out. I'm just like, all right, girl, okay. But you don't like to sell merch. You don't like to sell merch that's putting money in your pockets, okay? Whatever. And then the last one I have is, did Gabby Hannah ever go on that tour that she was going to do across country? Where she was singing? I have to say that Gabby Hannah has, this would be another video, that would be like an entire video of its own. But Gabby Hannah is somebody that has been staying out of drama for a while, and I feel like she has kind of calmed herself down and pieced herself together a little bit. Peace and serenity, all that. And I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her, She seems a little calmer right now. I went over her Twitter today, and it was interesting because getting ready to make this video, and I might make this video and talking about Gabby Hannah. It was interesting because when I went over there, I saw that she had literally just started tweeting again in the last 24 hours, you guys. And the last time that she had tweeted was, I think, October 23rd was the last time that she had tweeted. Then, 23 hours ago, she tweeted, haircut lyric video. And then she tweeted, she's talking about, all this kind of stuff. And then she tweeted buying this haircut song, somebody bought it, and whatever. And I'm like, and you wonder why people say that and I know she's been putting up the TikToks and Instagrams and stuff like that, but she hasn't been active on Twitter. And it's like, and here you are back again when you have something to promote. And people wonder, like Gabby always says, I'm always promoting something. Well, no, girl, you really aren't always promoting. You haven't promoted a song since October 23rd. You haven't promoted anything since then. And people wonder why they get called out for, well, like Jaclyn Hill, you only release videos when you have something to sell. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Or Shane Dawson getting called out for his cash grab, money grab things, but then, and it's like, oh, but he says, people say that he cares about money, and he goes, I don't care about money, and I don't care about merch, but then you release merch within 2 weeks of each other, and you're begging Shane Dawson, or Jeffree Star in a series to release this, it's so obvious. It was obvious to me. If Jeffree Star had said, let's release it, Shane Dawson would have released that palette, period, On and on and on. Or Gabby Hannah saying that she's always in drama, and no, she hasn't been in drama for a while, and that she's always releasing something. No, she's not always releasing something, I have questions. And I think it's that all of these YouTubers are the salesmen of 2022, and that's fine. That's fine. I would just appreciate it a little bit more if they were more, like, upfront about it. Like, Jake Paul, I have to just say, I'm not a lover of Jake Paul. I don't really understand it. His shtick, like, people love it and all that kind of stuff, right? I said shtick, not that, okay? He's not funny to me, right? But, like, he kind of owns, like, his piece of, like, what he does, and all that kind of stuff. And, like, I appreciate that to some degree, right? It's like, do what you love. you know, it's like there's no reason to act like it's something that it's not. Like, I appreciate that, you know? So anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. If you guys have questions for a further series, let me know in the comment section below as well. I love you guys. I hope that you are having a fantastic weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.